Hello everyone, this is Neil. I am going to present a very beautiful poem of class 9th English textbook. This poem is written by a very popular poet, Robert Frost. The name of the poem is The Road Not Taken. So let's start. This poem is about choices, decisions. Here is a thought. Life presents many choices. The choices we make determine our future. This poem is very important for all of us because in this poem we get the message, the choices, the decisions that we make decides our future. Many times we got many choices, options in our life. For example, after completing class 10, for class 11th you have option to choose different subjects. You choose the best one that you think at that time. But after class 11 you find some difficulties and now you have thought to go back and choose another. Well, this is not possible. So similarly here, poet tried to say that the importance of choices and decisions are that much that it decides our future, and we will try to understand it in the poem also. So let's move forward. There are some objective of this poem. First, we will read about the poet, a short description about the poet. Then we recite the poem, and also we try to understand literary meaning as well as insight meaning of the poem. And along with that, we also try to understand stanza-wise the literary devices used in the poem. First, we will start with a short description about the poet. Robert Frost was an American poet born in San Francisco. He was a 20th century poet, and he was a different modern poet because that he uses realistic New England life through language and situations familiar to the common man. There are some famous works of Robert Frost, that is Fire and Ice, Mending Wall, which is Out Out, Nothing Gold Can Stay, and Home Burial. The poem The Road Not Taken is often read at graduation ceremonies across the United States. He also won 4 Pulitzer Prizes and also became a poetic force and the unofficial poet laureate of the United States. So this is about the poet. Now move on to the main content of the poem. So let's start the poem. I will read out the poem. You need to listen it carefully, and then I will explain the meaning of the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Here in this stanza you can see that the word I depicts the poet himself. And in this way we can say that this poem is autobiographical in nature. Here, poet want to say that he came across two roads which are diverging in a yellow wood. Yellow wood is a forest in autumn season where the leaves turn into yellow color. The poet has used this yellow wood as a symbol for the word and the leaves as the people. He says that he came across two roads. Like in this picture, the poet is standing here, and he came across two roads, and he felt sorry that he could not travel both the roads because he can't travel both the road together, or he has to choose one. And be one traveler, long I stood. So as a individual traveler, he keep standing there and keep on looking the road until the road curved down and hide somewhere into the forest, and looked down on as far as I could to where it bent into the undergrowth. So what poet actually want to say here, that two roads diverged in a yellow wood depicts the two choices that he came across in his life, and yellow wood is the world. So that two choices goes through this world, and as a traveler, as a individual, he knows that he has to choose either of the two. So just like for example, like in class 12, after class 12 we have to choose different career, but we select one. You can't select the path of becoming a cricketer and a musician together. Similarly, the poet says that an individual traveler, he had to choose one. Here the poet want to say that before making choices, like we go through the next stanza, that is, and look down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So what poet want to say here, that to choose the one, we have to look forward the pros and cons of selecting a path, the advantages and disadvantages that he is going to face after selecting or choosing a path, that he has to look down. And therefore he is standing there and analyzing what are the advantages, disadvantages, what are the pros and cons, what are the difficulties he is going to face, and after that he will choose the one. So this is about the explanation of this stanza. We will move toward the understanding of the literary devices used in this stanza. The first literary device that poet used is the metaphor. Metaphor are the words that are not alike in meaning, but they have something in common. Like for example, in the first line, the poet used the word two roads. The two roads here stand for the two choices that poet is having in his life. And then again, the yellow wood represent the people that are living from a long time. And similarly, in the last line, poet have used the word undergrowth, hidden things that poet can't see beyond that. Okay, next literary device that poet has used is imagery. Imagery, in sense, we can see that in the first line, poet has used two roads diverged in a yellow wood. So it is a work of imagination of the poet, that he is comparing the two choices that is getting in this word with the yellow wood. The next is the rhyme scheme. So we need to find out the rhyme scheme of this stanza. That is quite easy. Rhyme scheme are the similar sounds. We can get it in the last word of any line, that is would, stood and could. These are similar in sounds, so let us mark them with A. And similarly, both and undergrowth are same in sound, so we can mark them as D. And in this way we can see that A B A A B A B A A B is the rhyme scheme of this stanza. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had won them really about the same. In this stanza, the poet has decided which path he wants to choose. He says that there is not much difference between the two paths, but now he has decided which path he has to choose. As just as fair represents the two paths are not much different, but the path he has taken is, he found that he has a better claim for that path. He said that he has taken this path because it was grassy and wanted wear. It means this path has been taken by very less number of people. This path has been chosen by very less number of people. Grassy means we can say that if on a road there are grass and no one has traveled there, then the grasses are fresh there. So it is like unused. And wanted wear is like no one has walked over it before. So therefore he found that he had selected the path he had selected is traveled by very less number of people. And why he has taken this path? Because he thought that it will be different, it will be adventurous, and the result in future will be better for him. Then after selecting the path, though as for that the passing there had won them really about the same, he found out that this path has also been the same like the one he didn't took. He got to know that both the routes are same. It means advantages and disadvantages are same. There are difficulties in both the routes, so he found that no single path has a better claim. Now let's see the literary devices used in these stanzas. The first literary devices used by the poet is simile. You can see simile is comparison between two different words or two different things, unlike metaphor, by using the word as or like. You can see in the phrase as just as fair. So here simile is being used. Moving on to the next literary device, that is alliteration. Alliteration is the series of words which start with the same sound, and here it is used in the phrase wanted beer, where the sound of W is being repeated. Next literary device used by the poet is enjambment. Enjambment is when one line is followed into the other line without the punctuation mark. So you can see here in the second last line, this the idea is continue with the last line also. So here is no punctuation mark, and this is known as enjambment. Moving on to the next stanza. And both the morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. If I doubted if I should ever come back. So in this stanza, poet want to say that both the paths are similar in the morning, because both had leaves on them and no one had stepped on them, as they were still green in color, they were still not disturbed, and we can say that like if we disturb with them feet, they will turn into trodden black. So no one has put foot on them. Oh, I kept the first for another day. He decided that day he would take one path and keep the other path for another day. But he knew that one way leads on to the another way. It means he knows that if he has chosen a path, he will going to make more paths through this, and it would not be possible for him to come back and choose that path that he has not taken. So it is about just he is imagining and he is going to the thing that is not going to be possible. The poet thought at a point that he will come back and he will travel that path that he is not taken. So he knew that he could not go back on the choice that he had made. Similarly, just like even in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that option. We will not going to get a chance to come back and take the other option that we have left earlier. So it is good to move forward. That's why poet is saying that if I doubted if I should ever come back. So once you have decided or chosen a path, you cannot go back to the same time and change your decision. Let's see the literary devices used in this stanza. So first that is enjambment is used here. You can see in the first two lines there is no punctuation mark here, and therefore the first line leads to the continue the idea in the second line. Then second literary device is imagery used here. And both the morning equally lay. So it is imagination of the poet. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Here, poet says that in the future he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time he had reached such a point in life that there was two options for him, and he chose the option that is very less persons travel or traveled on that road, or which had been traveled upon by lesser number of people. So the decision that he took at that point in time is the one that has created his future, that what he is in future today. Similarly, in future, if you talk about students, when we grow up, then we will say once upon a time when we were young, we have two options and we have selected these options, and that is what we are today because of that options that we have selected. So this is a very strong message for all the students, that we should be wise and we should be careful while choosing our options, whatever the options available in our life, because the options that we are going to choose, the decisions that we are going to take, Our life depends on those decisions. Our future depends on those decisions. Let's see the literary devices used in this poem. So again, enjambment is used here. We can see that there is no punctuation mark on the first line of this stanza. And then repetition is also used here. Repetition is the repetition of the words we say, ages and ages. So this was explanation of the poem. Let's see how much we have learned. So here is the first question. What do you think the last two lines of the poem mean? I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Okay, my second question is, discuss what these phrases mean to you. A yellow wood. Second is, it was grassy and wanted beer. Third one is, leaves no step had trodden black. My third question is, write a short note about which road you have taken if you were in place of poet and why. So this was all from my side. Thank you.